In choosing our 5 days that changed America, we chose to focus on events that greatly swayed the public. Whether these events united the public or greatly changed the dynamic of the population, they all had huge ramifications in the United States. In an effort to really draw attention to important dates, we chose to omit well-known dates such as September 11, 2001, and the end of the World Wars. We tried mainly to focus on events that brought the population together, but we also wanted events that changed the dynamic of the population without necessarily bringing them together. The musical and visual choices we made were in an effort to express public opinion during the time period in which the event took place.
The events in this video are ordered from 5th to 1st, with the least influential events starting the countdown and the most influential ending it. Following the top 5 countdown, there will be a list of unranked honorable mentions.
Black Tuesday began one of the most unfortunate times in American history. The name Black Tuesday hints at the devastation experienced. On the 29th of October 1929, the stock market crashed. In 5 hours after opening, the market lost $10 billion, which roughly equates to $100 billion with inflation. After the crash from 1929 to 1932, the gross national product had fallen by a factor of 1/3, prices by 40%, and the unemployment rate a record high of 25%. This date started a massive slide in the United States economy and caused the United States to take action to prevent such crisis from ever occurring again. The nation became mostly unified to gain labor rights and establish limits for the nation's rich. The Great Depression may have been caused by other factors such as real estate speculation and failing banks, in addition to Black Tuesday. However, Black Tuesday hurt Americans in a way never seen before or ever again. For another important day in American history, Selma, in many minds, was the most important civil rights march in American history. Martin Luther King Jr. began by launching a significant voting rights campaign in Selma, Alabama. Of the 15,000 black residents, only 355 were registered to vote. In addition, Martin Luther King, against the ban placed by the Alabama governor, led a march from Selma to the state's capital, Montgomery. As the march left the city, it was met by a fierce assault from Alabama State Police. The significance and gruesome assault of the police on the protesters drew more national attention to the civil rights movement than ever before. Interrupting a World War II film, Americans were forced to realize the injustices the nation's black population experienced. There had been national support towards the movement prior to Selma, however, the attention received forced America as a nation to make a stand. Soon after, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was passed. Blacks received one of the most important yet fundamental rights as American citizens. Selma, in the words of the incumbent president of the United States in 1965, Ben Andy Jon, was a milestone in man's unending search for freedom.
Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was a devastating experience for New Orleans and the United States as a whole. Thousands of Americans died, many more suffered. Even worse, the United States was unprepared. According to healthfairs.org, at the time of Hurricane Katrina, public health, healthcare, and emergency management communities along the Gulf were poorly integrated and lacked the systems, mechanisms, and plans to coordinate an effective cross-jurisdictional response. The consequences were evident. The emergency was not because of failed levees, but lack of equipment to handle such devastation. Hurricane Katrina resulted in newfound strength for the nation. The nation has invested significantly in public health and healthcare systems preparedness and in strengthening these day-to-day systems through electronic health records, equipment such as generators and temporary hospitals, and through training and exercising. Building resilience at the local, state, and federal levels. The United States acted so that such a disaster could never happen again. Healthcare systems have been strengthened all around and more adequately prepared for disasters to come. Whether it be a hurricane, tornado, or earthquake, the United States is more prepared, and people feel safer because of it.
Pearl Harbor was a terrible surprise to the American people and a major turning point in American sentiment towards World War II. Prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor by Japanese bombers, U.S. opinion was split on entering World War II. After the bombing, the combined vote in Congress was 388 in favor and 1 against. Before the bombing, President Roosevelt had struggled to gain approval for a U.S. foray into the Second World War. It is clear that after the bombings took place, the public opinion, represented by the microcosm of Congress, was swung heavily in favor of entry into the World War. The end result of U.S. entry into the World War was a colossal benefit to the rest of the world. A case can be made that because of the U.S. entry into the war, the Holocaust was cut short and millions of other lives were saved by ending the war quickly.
Independence Day, or the 4th of July, is a holiday in the United States commemorating the writing of the Declaration of Independence that declared the 13 colonies a new nation separate from Great Britain. To represent the people of the colonies, Congress took over the day-to-day business of governing America on a national level while representing American interests in international relations. Representatives from each colony came together to form a document that would encompass the needs of the people. The signing of the Declaration of Independence not only separated the colonies from Great Britain, but also unified them together as a nation. Without this document, America today would not be a nation of 26, but divided territory of independent countries. The 4th of July was a monumental day in the history of America, and it unified the country for centuries. And now, a list of honorable mentions include September 11th, 2001, Emancipation Proclamation, D-Day, Women's Suffrage, the passing of the 19th Amendment, the Little Rock Nine, Apollo 11, Cuban Missile Crisis, the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, and the legalization of same-sex marriage. Thank you.